second part because we're both DMing. Come on.
Oh, I
Get it
see.
going here,
Sorry,
come
I
on.
didn't realize what we were doing. Should I use my voice, or have I read
Yes,
the
yes.
book?
voice.
Yes, use the voice.
And welcome to PATHCO Session 32.
Fantastic.
Okay, do you want to say like epilogue, and I'll say the journey south? Would that be good?
Yeah. Alright. Epilogue and...
The journey south. Yes.
Yeah.
Nah. It doesn't work when I do it.
Yeah.
Nah. See, it's not working at all.
Alright, so I don't get... No, actually I do get a new feat.
Do you? Wow, I'm very
yes.
impressed. Do you want to do that when you're not DMing?
Probably.
Pro tip.
Yeah, probably. Alright, so I don't know how much the delay of the stream is.
My god, I thought you were getting enhanced diplomacy as a feat. I was just like, that is the least Apollyon thing in the world.
Well, you say that, but you can actually also use, because it's a cantrip, or rather an orison, it's something that you can also use for intimidate.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah.
That sort of makes sense, I guess.
Which I actually have as a new cantrip. Well,
Oh, do you? Wonderful.
shouldn't call it cantrip, it's an orison. Because of my multi-classing.
Do you want to save?
Classic.
Do you want to save that
Yeah.
for the
But
cutscene?
yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Do we want to start then?
Yeah, we
Oh,
probably
quack.
won't start.
Here is me saying quack.
I
Hellhounds.
saw it a bit before,
Oh.
but I couldn't be bothered.
My
to-
reaction.
Alright,
thought it was
so I
stupid.
don't know
Which
if
stream
you
are we
on
on
the
here?
stream, whether you can
Yeah, the
see
stream's
the
on.
image. Yeah.
Yes,
the
the
one
Sander
of
and the Spy.
Sander.
Yeah. So basically, what's happened over the course of the last few days is, you know, the whole business with Nasander wrapped up. Nasander
Also wrapped up by the looks
is
of it.
also wrapped up.
Baduntish.
He's still not very healed from the massive beating he's taken.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, as you had left the Buckhart estate, Nasander and the spy Montbec, who is still with him, actually walked up to you as they are depicted here right now, and Nasander basically told you that after realizing his mistakes and realizing that most of his entire life had been dedicated to, well, something wrong, or something which he now realizes was wrong, he is going to go into exile and just make a journey around the world with the only person he still has left around him, which is Montbec, who happened to be around and just got dragged into all of this.
This sounds like a wonderful road trip movie.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm looking forward to this.
So yeah, Nasander, all repentful, has thanked you for showing him the right way.
Did
And-
him being really thankful involve some payment?
Not our invoice.
Who
just take
did we
care of
give
that.
the invoice to?
oh yeah,
Probably
invoice.
the fucking dorky half-elf family, right?
Yeah,
Or elf,
yeah.
even.
You've given the invoices to them, and you know they weren't really paying attention, so they've just sort of refunded you with a total for everyone of 500 gold.
That's not bad, I guess.
Right.
So
More,
you can,
it's 500 more than I had anyway, you know.
Yep.
It's not bad.
you can, what's the word for divide? You can divide that between yourselves.
What, it's 500 full stop?
What?
Yes.
What the
That's
shit?
rubbish. It costs us
Bugger.
way more than that. This whole thing.
God damn it, right. The suits alone cost like 100 gold each, which I made
I
egg
know.
pay.
Wow.
Ugh.
We're trying to squeeze more out
Okay,
of them.
so, what's that? 125 gold each?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely. That'll not help with anything. No, it'll be pretty useful. Why is he bouncing up and down?
Well, he's leaving. You know, he's walking.
Oh, I see. Goodbye!
Yeah.
Hop, 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 hop. Well, he
yeah.
lost a leg in the ensuing battle, so
Wow.
now he hops.
He hasn't really
Sigmund will also have been hanging around and talking to Nasander as well, you know, especially discussing terms of Nasander's repentance, and you'll have noticed that they'll have been spending quite a bit of time together.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they'll have been chatting about things.
I bet.
Yeah.
I ship it.
So yeah, Nasander is just he's going to the river where a little boat is situated with like 4 rowing sticks. I don't know the words.
Oars.
Oars.
Yeah.
That's it. With 4 rowing oars, and he's like, "Come on, Monbeck, we mustn't tarry.
You have 4 oars to row.
The world awaits us." And then he says, sure thing, Lord Nasander. No, no more lords and masters. It's just Nasander now. You can call me Gareth if you like."
Is that his first
yeah, that's
name?
his first name.
Gary.
Gareth.
My God.
Gary Nasander.
Yeah, Gary.
Can I call
Nasander.
you G Unit?
Wow.
Oh.
You cannot call me cheap. So yeah, and you can see them just rowing down the river with 2 oars in their hands, and it looks really weird because none of them have ever rowed a boat before, so it looks sort of wonky, but still.
Are we waving? Are we like at the side of the road, like waving? Not the road, the river.
They're actually rowing down the road.
Yeah, they're so bad.
It's like with the 4
God,
oars,
it
it's like
Row faster!
Yeah, the 4 oars like function as legs for the mech boats, and it's just walking.
Oh man. That's
Yeah.
the worst image in the world. I love it. Can we get that as a really slow animated GIF?
Maybe if I have the time. But actually, that's a point I need to make for next Sunday, and probably the Sunday after that. I am gone. I am in Italy
Ooh,
with
whereabouts
school.
Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good.
Whereabouts?
Rome, Firenze, Naples, Pisa,
Cool.
and what's the other one?
Venice?
Something with an A.
A place in Italy.
For all
No.
I know, the Belgium names could be different anyway.
Uh,
But we call it Florence, not Firenze, for example. The Firenze
right.
is way cooler. Is a much cooler name, if you ask me.
Alright, so
I
Florence
don't know.
and... Well,
Duly
I don't remember
noted,
the
though.
other one. Anyway,
well, we'll plan around that, or we'll
So
come
yeah.
up with something.
Nasander
You know,
has just like chucked his broken paladin armor into the river, and he's just dressed in like monk.
Can we nick
clothing.
it?
You can nick it if you want, but it's
Oh,
it's really just metal scrap at this point.
Yeah, you can sell scrap. Be alright.
Sure, nick it
Yeah.
if you want.
Do I have to roll swim?
Yeah, roll swim.
Shit. Oh, here's where bad things start to
Yeah,
happen.
I'm
I
enjoying
like
my
the
last.
the one person that doesn't wear heavy armor.
I'm enjoying my 10 minutes
She
of.
probably could. If she... No, I don't think she can actually, can she?
Clerics can wear heavy armor.
Dave doesn't wear heavy armor.
I can't swim very well, and at any rate, I don't care that much.
Okay, it's 1d20 plus 1. That can only end well.
I don't have ranks to swim.
It's better than me. I had a minus 3
4.
against
Right,
Roll.
okay.
You
This is a bad
drowned.
time. Roll to see how painfully you die.
Yeah, roll Constitution.
Crap.
So yeah, the armor just washes down the current of the river. As
Can
you try
someone
to
come
swim
rescue me,
behind
please?
it, Nasander and Montbec actually boat you over.
Oh, okay.
And as they
Thanks,
continue
guys.
down,
Thanks,
they
guys.
shout,
Jerks.
"I'm sorry, whatever your name is."
Can I give him the finger as he departs?
Sure.
This is what you get for only pay. Oh no, that wasn't him who paid us that.
No.
This is what you get for not paying us at all, bastard.
Well, it's not like he'd be paying you for beating him up.
Well, no, but I don't know actually.
Well,
He was one
he told
employed us.
us that he wanted to find out the secret of the Buckhearts and why their necromancy is so powerful. And we told him in the battle kind
That's
of
true.
taunting.
Awesome.
The reason was that the Buckhearts are awesome.
No, it was the zombie tofu.
Yeah. Anyway.
Is Apollyon here as well? Just like
yeah,
sort of
Apollon's just hanging back.
Did he come back with us?
Yeah, he came back with you.
I actually have a couple of follow-up questions before we leave. Just tell me when I can slot in and.
Alright, who do you want to ask questions?
One is a specific question to you as the GM.
Alright.
What's the current state of Sigmund's armor RE vampiric possession?
None.
No, because the vampire went into
Yeah.
the paladin armor, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hussar.
Yeah,
And
just
the armor
confirming that
exploded.
he didn't schlurp back in afterwards.
No.
Like that.
Hussar is gone. He exploded along with the armor.
Okay.
He went for that
Okay.
drink along with the demons.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good,
And,
actually.
speaking of armor, there was a member of the 20 Shields who said he was gonna
Yeah. Who's
Potential
gonna like?
work armor.
Mhm,
Is he
mhm.
still up for that, or have they disappeared?
Well, a lot of the 20 shields, or at least Nasander's units, seem to have gone back to wherever 20 shield HQ is. But this guy, actually, you see on like a little fat horse. You see him riding towards you, with like a bill in his hand, and
Which trails down to the horse's hooves.
yeah, and just a big bag of tools, and he's just gonna come and masterwork your armor because you already paid for it, I think.
No, I didn't.
Oh, really?
I paid him for masterworking the shield, and we were going
right.
to come back and masterworking the armor. How much was that again?
Masterworking armor. I'm not entirely sure, actually.
I'm just going to be because okay, by the strict rules, you can't actually do this. You have to get a spell to do it. But we've been doing slightly different stuff for masterworking.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we can
it makes
definitely-
no sense for it to be
yeah.
magical, really. Because then you can enchant stuff anyway upon masterworking it, and it doesn't make no sense.
I'm just gonna charge you. I don't know, like five gold or something.
Fine.
You can certainly do that. I think that is.
He's pulling a
certainly
lot of
should-
shit in his
usually-
last while as a GM for a while, isn't it?
Usually it's
It's
150.
so
I'll tell you
weird
that much.
because let me tell you why I've been charging you so much. Because we have basically this infinite pool of money.
We
already.
certainly don't. It's not when you're buying heavy army. You don't.
Let me take a
But
look.
anyway, yes. Usually, masterworking a suit of armor costs an extra 150 GP. How much is this young man charging me?
An extra 150 gold. Wow. No,
Yes.
he's. Oh wow. I wore you down quite a lot, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, it's just gonna. GP, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna charge that much. I'm just gonna charge
Wow.
5. No, this guy is lost.
Okay.
This guy is lost.
I'm gonna give him one of my bottles of booze then.
Alright,
as a
nice.
tip.
Nice.
Go
Yeah,
on,
because
Ken.
this guy has lost everything as Nasander's thingy disbanded. Right now,
Get
his
him to
head...
come back to Riverton.
You can do that if you want.
We need some fucking characters of the week who just sort of live there.
Roll
like,
Yeah,
It's what I
mostly
try to
diplomacy.
do.
It's just
Roll
golems at the
diplomacy.
moment.
Who?
Who? I'll do it if you want.
Who wants to?
Sigmund, because he's like talking to him for in
Yeah, that's
relation to
makes
his
sense.
armor.
So, I heard you like armor.
Alright,
That just
nice.
womp.
Yep.
19. Not bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's good.
That's pretty.
That's
yeah,
true.
he's-
I didn't hear the jingle that time.
He's
I did.
going to
Oh, okay.
Riverton. He's going to become an apprentice at the blacksmith there. Yeah, he's off. He's off.
Bye.
Aye.
Right.
What a nice man.
Mm-hmm.
Hope next time we meet him, he has dialogue.
Who
No,
knows?
we had dialogue. We had dialogue from the
No,
first
I
session.
know. It's just you need to level up to get dialogue.
Yeah.
It's a feat.
You need to be at least level 5 to have dialogue.
Poor NPCs.
Well, it's like in WoW when you had to get your level up with the bears before you could talk to them, they wouldn't attack you on the side.
Oh, yeah,
No.
yeah.
How do you
It's a
level
historic
up with
reference.
bears? What the shit? Is it like dances with
Like
wolves?
Furbolgs.
With the what? Oh, I see. They're like shapeshifters, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
So, was that everything?
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
No,
okay.
actually, there is one more thing. Because Apollyon
Is a nerd.
He's there, and he approaches you and he says, "Wow, well that was quite something. I'm glad it's over though, stupid family party." It always ends up like this, with a big old stupid fight.
Was it
Every
really
year it's
15
the
shields?
same thing. Oh,
Every year, paladins turn up and try and kill everyone. That's
It's really
quite a
inconvenient.
party.
yeah, every year paladins turn up and try to, yeah, just bust our castle.
Well then.
Wow. Okay. Do you send an invite or?
We've considered that. There's like I think great Uncle Lazarus sends letters to the Twin Shields every once in a while.
He's not all there, is he? It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Nice
He's
man though.
He's a strange
Make him pay us
guy.
more.
Oh yeah, and by the way, remember that book I had?
No.
Yes.
Who are you
Yes.
again?
You mean the one you borrowed from Kate Fish Whiskers?
Yeah, that one.
And the one totally didn't nearly wreck by pouring acid onto the lock?
Yeah, that's the one.
The one that she's
Well-
probably still looking for?
Well, remember how I couldn't open it?
Yes, it nearly burnt a hole in my armor when we tried to splash all that acid on it.
Well, I had someone from the family open it for me. It was a bit weird. There was a lot of fire and screaming, and now I look like this. So you can see that.
Wait, now you don't.
Now I look like this.
Is there an image for this? Am
There is
I
an
just
image.
lagging? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, as
Where are you showing this? Oh, wow.
yeah. So you can see that as he brushes his hair aside, on his forehead, he has like this weird branded symbol,
Wow.
Nice work.
and that is part of what I've done, which is multi-class, and I've taken a level in Oracle. Yes.
Cool.
So what can you
And
do now?
oracles, by definition, come with a curse.
Oh.
And this curse, in this case, is branded.
Which means he
cool
sounds
looking.
like Russell Brand now. It's really annoying.
Oh no.
No, he sounds like Marlon Brando.
Truly, a fate worse than death.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I get the problem that the GM can have like NPCs recognize the brand as something definitely unholy and like evil, and become hostile because of it. I can't conceal it though if I wear a hood or anything of the like. And yeah, it has.
Grow a fringe. I'll fix everything.
Consult. Nailed it.
And yeah, it gets me like little bonuses too.
Cool.
Cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
now I'm an oracle.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
So, you had any visions of the future?
Well, not exactly the future, more like the infinite darkness of the unholy abyss, but oh well, things like that happen every once in a while.
So you're saying what you've seen in the future is that we're going to get drunk. Back out.
You know, knowing you, Sigmund, there's a fairly big chance for that, and I don't need future vision to tell.
Thyra just goes, I'll drink to that!
And then we'll all start laughing and then freeze frame like
Yeah.
it's the end.
Yeah,
Bright
like
yellow
the
font
Friends,
starts scrolling
Friends
down.
theme plays.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, that concludes my session, my module, rather.
Cool.
Huh, yeah, that was good.
I'm clapping. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can
Yay.
hear it, I
Yeah.
can hear it.
It was good.
Cool.
Alright. Oh yeah.
Let's go home.
Also, regarding the master working on my armor,
Mhm.
I'm just going to say that because of the whole influence with Hussar, when it's been masterworked, it's got a slight kind of vampiric curl to some of the filigree on it. Just
Nice.
to represent the
Nice.
the lingering slight presence of Hussar in the armor and having possessed it.
Nice.
Nice.
Just don't shower and try your armor and it'll be fine.
Alright, so well, Chaku, over to you.
Hello, adventurers, and welcome to PATHCO. I know I've already said that, but you know, it's making sure. So, it has been 3 weeks since the events of Welcome to Arsenheim. In that time, the party has had a chance to learn impressive new abilities, and Napoleon's made out with his book or something. The party find themselves back in Riverton, in the monastery base. Thyra has departed, heading further north as she used the last of her dwarven stout ale and is already missing the taste of her homeland. And on one early morning, let's say about 7 a.m., it's quite early,
Too early.
you hear a heavy knocking at the door, as if someone immensely strong is hammering against it.
Alright.
So, what happens next? What are your characters up to at this time of the day? And,
At 7 a.m.,
yes,
Sigmund
and
is asleep. Also, one thing I have remembered is that we pilfered, now that Apollyon is now a player, we pilfered a bunch of bat wings.
Oh yeah. Oh, I need
to-
to take the guild
To
helm out
give,
of my weapons,
to
don't
give
I?
to him to potentially put onto Gilhelm.
Alright.
there you go, then teach
Are we
Gilhelm
gonna
to
are
fly.
we gonna do this?
Well, I'm assuming I would have given them to him in the past 3 weeks
Mhm.
Yes.
before they
And you
gone.
would have tried.
4
You
bat
can-
wings.
you
We
can
hit him with
try-
guns.
What did I make you do to do this? There was a weird Gilhelm crafting roll, wasn't there? And I can't remember what it was.
I thought it was just an int roll.
Probably.
You've got a gold
think-
dice, you should use it.
Do you want to
I
roll
have a golden
concentration or
dice.
something?
Roll concentration, so that's just int, right?
I don't know, actually. I always roll concentration because it's easier, but yeah.
Oh yeah, is there like an extra thing for it?
Yeah, it's just in the spells column and stuff.
Oh yeah, right. So I should.
You
put
have
my-
so
my
many
weapon-
goddamn spells, Jesus.
I'm I'm mostly a sorcerer, you know? That's
You're a
kind of
sorceress.
the idea.
Sorcerical.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, sorcerical.
so
Sorcerical, yes.
Alright, so where's my fantastic horrible spell?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for
Concentration? It's up above spells.
oh right, nice.
Um,
Above spells. Oh yeah. Is that this roll it? Oh yeah.
yep, I think there's a roll it button.
What actually in the concentration thing, what is concentration?
No idea, can't
I
remember.
don't know either.
Anyway,
It's in theory
Alright,
used
I'll-
when you're casting a spell and when you're attacked. Or it's also
Alright,
used
13.
it's
to do it if you're maintaining a spell cost several turns.
Oh, alright. Alright, so I've
13.
rolled a 13, I've used the golden
plus
dice for
5.
that. It's plus five,
18. So yeah. Sigmund gets a couple of. Sorry, I was looking at
Bat
the
wings.
looking at the
Having a
chat.
flying tank would be pretty cool.
My God. So what happens is that
Actually, oh my god. I just had the best idea, which would have been much better to use the bat wings for.
a pair of stubby wings sort of erupt from Gilhelm's back. They're not very large, but yeah, he can probably fly for up to about 12 seconds. You know, they're not powerful limbs and they're
Right.
wholly untrained, but
Has he got any more HP?
he gets another HP, another
Right.
hit point.
He has 4 now.
Wow.
Hooray!
Good work, Gilhelm.
Nice.
I'm so proud of you.
GWG.
Actually, there were like 4 bat wings there, right? Or how many were there?
There's 4. There were 4. Yeah.
So
Well, yes,
have I-
but the wings on his back are quite a lot bigger than normal bat wings.
Oh right, so I've used all 4.
Yes. Yes.
I just had the idea that I could have used like a rope and some other random shit to make myself a living backpack. with wings.
Why?
Because I
Jetpack.
would, it would enable me to fly.
No,
I
you won't fly.
really don't think you understand how flying works.
He really is an unmanned
Look
drone
at
now.
look. Wow, I think that's pretty much Gilhelm anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, well, at least
Anyway.
Gilhelm can fly a bit now.
Yes, I'm sure that'll be very useful.
I'm sure it will.
Definitely.
Break so many puzzles.
I
Right.
will find a use for this, and you know it.
Oh my yes, that's why I'm worried. Anyway, so back to the present day. I'm assuming this was about 2 weeks ago. So Gilhelm's been flying around the courtyard for roughly a week and a half now.
Yeah.
Playing
So, yes.
Solitaire.
There was a hefty knock on the door. Who heard that? Who reacted to that? Who's the lightest sleeper?
Well, Apollyon is actually still awake at this point. Well, still, he's already awake. And basically what he's been doing is, if you remember, like, he scorched an eyebrow off some time ago.
Yes.
Probably.
Well, he's, because it's not grown back yet, every morning he, like, uses a bit of dye to paint it back on. And that's
Good
what he
job.
was actually doing right now, and because of the knocking, there's now like a big... His eyebrow is now like
It's
twice
like a
as
heart
long.
rate sign.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a Phoenix Wright eyebrows.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
So now he has
Now
like
that sounds
one
pretty as
Phoenix
hell.
right eyebrow.
Little wiggle.
Good job.
Well, you can go get it. Dave lives in a tower, so he's got like
That's true.
5 flights of stairs to get down.
Alright.
Sigmund is asleep.
Sigmund is asleep.
He will have rolled over, and that's about it.
What about Glamvar?
Glamvar probably would be up by then.
Because he's up training in the mornings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is he about? Is he in the courtyard training? Is he in the
Yeah, he's
fields
in the
out back? Or... Okay.
Yeah.
So probably like bisecting an arrow in two or some such, yes?
Yeah.
Are you going to go to the door as well, or are you going to leave?
You'll go investigate the door.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, definitely.
it's the dynamic duo. It's Apollyon and Glanvar going to investigate the door.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a weird combo.
It's a bit of a weird combo.
Probably looking very, very surprised with this one large eyebrow.
Bit staticky there, pal.
Yeah, yeah.
Agus turned into a robot.
Ag is now a robot. Any better?
Is that better? Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
was
much
weird.
better.
Doesn't sound like a transformer.
So yes, I'm assuming Glanvar no nonsensely hefts the large door open. I'm assuming it's about the height of tall people, 2 people, and on the other side you see your old friend the Cockney Courier, who is smiling widely at you.
Oh
At
no.
which point Glamvar closes the door.
He keeps
just, like,
knocking.
opens
He's going to
and he
keep
just
knocking.
Closes the door again.
Hello, Matt. Oh,
Oh shit.
turns out he's just put that voice on for you. No.
Oh, not this guy again.
Mate, come on! I've got mail for you. You remember I'm fulfilling my specified role as a member of the Guild of Couriers. And he keeps hammering. He's gonna be there all morning.
God damn it. Alright, Apollyon just cracks and just opens and says, "What?"
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, you have received 2 articles of mail this morning.
Amazing.
You have
Fantastic.
received a letter. And he sort of reaches into his jacket and with great flourish reveals this rather battered letter that's clearly suffered a bit of travel. There's a couple of stains on it. It's like a little water damage, but it's mostly fine. And you notice that there is a rather unmistakable seal of some sort of ancient tomb with a hill sort of rising above it in sort of quite plain, thick brown wax.
Oh,
This is for your young halfling friend, the Derek. Yeah, that's it. And he sort of hands that over, and then he reaches into his pocket. Oh, and Madette was looking for you as well. The lovely Madette. He sort of self-consciously adjusts his hair, and then passes that over to Apollyon as well. And that's just sort of a neatly folded note, because it's only had to go about 100 meters.
She's too lazy to do it herself.
She's too lazy to do it herself. When you've got a messenger who lives in the town and spends most of his time in the bar, it's probably allowed.
She was making him do it out of spite. Make him do
That's also
something.
possible. So, yeah, you have these two notes, Apollyon. In one hand you have this lightly folded letter from a Madette, and in the other you have this very sturdy-looking letter for your old friend Derek.
How long was the messenger? Sorry, how long was the courier banging on the door?
It was about probably a couple of minutes of Glanvar holding the door shut, I think.
Okay.
I guess Dave's probably on his way down anyway. I reckon he probably gets up fairly early to feed all his animals.
I'm just going to make a fortitude check for Sigmund to see if he can wake up. If that's all right with you.
Fine by me.
24. I think
Wow.
he will have been able to wake up and not been.
Practically springs from the bed, knocks his head on the ceiling,
Yeah.
and sort of stumbles out of his room cursing.
He's stumbling down, cursing, in his boxer shorts, which are the ones with the little love hearts on them.
Well, obviously, yes.
Obviously. Realizes they've got company and puts his dressing gown on.
Nice.
The courier gives like a sly thumbs up.
Yeah.
A slight nod, you know.
Likes to be seen.
He's subtle like
Six.
that.
Sigyn gives him a nod and says, I need to talk to you about something later.
Well, I'm very busy in my role as the town's courier. He sort of stands more upright and, you know, tries to show off a little bit. He's not very good at it, bless him. But I reckon around lunchtime I'll be in the Hook and Hand.
All right, I'll see you then.
And he sort of jogs off down the road, and yeah, sort of heads off back down into town. So I'm assuming the entire party is now gathered at the gates of your monastery base?
Yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Basically. Oh,
Get out.
tough, I'm the DM, I'm God now. And so on and so forth. So, what? That was a Cockney accent. Screw you,
I
hellhounds.
thought it was a good courier voice.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. Normally he's a lot
Reminds
more
me-
high-pitched.
A little bit. Just a little bit of the postman in Twilight Princess, that is Zelda.
Yeah, those
What
are
dogs
probably
around?
good influences.
Extremely tight pants.
I love that guy, he's great. He's in Ocarina of Time as well.
Anyway,
Hellhound
says
says
Sigmund.
that- Hellhound says they thought that the messenger was supposed to be Cockney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
so-
that's why I was sulking.
I
That was
thought
my
it was-
Cockney voice.
But it was perfectly good.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So-
Hellhounds doesn't know what they're on about.
It's anyway.
Yeah. So,
Greetings to all
Apollyon,
our fans. Thank you for joining, tuning in.
greetings to all our fan. Yes,
we
so
appreciate you very much being here, Hellhounds. It's wonderful. to have you.
Apollyon has two notes. This sort of lightly folded piece of whatever the equivalent of A4 paper is, you know, just a piece of parchment. It's fairly bog standard. And that's just folded over. And the other is this quite thick letter that Dave immediately recognizes has the Barrow Hill crest stamped onto it. Which I just sort of made up. I hope that was okay.
No, I thought it was really cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
Thanks. Happy to help. So, what happens now?
I read the
Um,
letter.
Yeah,
After getting off of Apollyon.
So Apollon's just gonna toss the letter for Dave at Dave. Just like, yeah, you got mail. And what was the other letter again?
It is
Madette.
a lightly folded piece of parchment from Madette.
Right, so and he's just going to fold that open himself and read it.
Okay. So it says, do you mind if I do the one from Madette first?
Yeah,
So it says, right, female voice.
don't bother.
Dear heroes, I've noticed recently that there's been some complaints from travellers heading up towards Riverton via the road by the river. I was wondering if you'd take a look next time you're south of town.
Right, I'm actually opening up the file.
Please
for
see me
Madette.
if you'd like to discuss this further. Thank you,
Right.
Madame.
Wow.
She's quite softly spoken. It's quite sort of plain, you know. She's
Yeah.
got quite a flourishing script because, as everyone knows, mages are the universe's equivalent of doctors, and as such, you sort of barely can decipher what she has written. But
Alright, yeah. I've got the picture of Medette here, which apparently I drew some time ago. She looks a
Wow.
lot less graceful than she speaks, but alright.
She's probably dressed a bit more nicely now she's not living in some
Yeah.
Yeah,
big
probably.
Cassandra's
I reckon so.
tower.
Probably.
So yeah, she's probably still hanging out at the Wizard Fish Whisker's place because it's quite a decently sized tower, and Kate currently lives there on her own. Kate Fish Whiskers. So just incidentally, as you've sort of been around for another couple of weeks, evidently word has spread that Riverton now has adventurers staying there. And they're generally good if you don't want to be raided by bandits or whatever. So the town's actually started to grow a little bit more. You notice that sort of on the hill up to your monastery, people are starting to re-sow at farms that haven't been tended to for a little while. On the other side of the river, a couple of houses are being sprung up, things like that, you know?
And there's the new blacksmith. Is he helping out the?
The new blacksmith has sort of taken
Is
to
he-
the role. He's sort
Is
of...
the old one still there? Are they working together? Or
The
are they,
Yes,
like,
the dwarvish. Well, everyone knows the dwarvish smith. Dwarvish smiths are the best in the land, so he's learning off him. You know, even though the human blacksmith is quite an older gentleman, he's probably about 30, and he's quite portly, but he's taken to it like an apprentice to a new trade because you know.
Don't mind that.
I wasn't looking at the YouTube gaming screen. Don't worry about it. So yeah. Sorry, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's weird. Sorry, I'm getting something that says "hold on" while we try to get the call back. I don't know.
No.
Looks like Agtheo is not connected currently.
Oh. I know. I wonder why he didn't complain about us referring to someone in their 30s as an older gentleman.
Haggis, are you still about?
I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
Agtheo, no.
God damn it. Well, should we keep going? This is fairly sort of finicky stuff.
Yeah.
So, you've gotten this. Oh, Dave, are you going to have a look at the letter you've opened?
Yeah.
that you've received? So you crack the seal on this quite thick letter. You know, it's more like a small parcel than a letter. And two things drop out. One of them is a sort of it's a quite hefty parchment actually. Like there's a lot of sort of pieces of parchment sort of folded over and formed into a concise whole. And as well as that, there is a sort of halfling pound cake. It's quite a thick, hearty. It's almost a small meal in itself. You know, it's like a Cornish pasty.
Oh, man.
Half of it contains like some thick meat, and the other half contains like some cooking apples and stuff. You know, that whole kind of mix.
Awesome.
And that's covered in pumpkin seeds. And yeah, evidently someone knew what you liked, as you haven't had one of those since leaving your homeland of Scum. So yeah, the actual letter, if you choose to read it.
Yes. Being momentarily distracted by the cake.
That's reasonable.
Okay, I just dialed in on my PC, went a bit strange, so I've dialed in on my laptop.
Yep, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Yep. So Dave has just opened his letter and he's discovered a halfling pound cake, which he is very much happy about. And it does weigh a pound. It is a sturdy cake, indeed. It is a full halfling meal, not a full human one. Yeah, there's a sort of long rambling letter. The basic gist of it is... Right, okay, female voice, I can do this. Dear Dave, it's been so long since we've heard from you. You need to keep better contact with your family. Needless to say, I'm in town. Or I'm nearby. I've set up in Scumport. Been travelling, you know, like the old days. How about you come down and meet me, and we write some more stories, eh? And there's a really, really, like, thick paragraph of stuff about various family members, because Dave is, of course, from a big family, isn't he?
Fairly large.
And he's been disconnected for, you know, 6 months, maybe. So,
Most of them are pretty boring.
obviously there's been about 4 births, maybe a death. Someone's daughter has ended up eloping with someone. It's a hefty list of things. but at the bottom is this sort of thick signature that says, "Your Aunt, Tilde." And yes, this is basically from Dave's sort of old adventuring hero aunt, who is quite a hefty barbarian halfling. And yeah, she has sent him a letter, summoning him to Scumport, far south of here. So,
Sounds nice.
it is.
Sounds
So-
very attractive and touristic.
It is, as a matter of fact. So yes. Now, what would you like to do? You've got a couple of leads to follow up on. It's entirely your call.
Well, Scumport's down the river south anyway, the road south, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Well, we might as well,
Maybe double up here.
yeah, go see Midet, and then pack and go. Unless anyone wants to come with me, I guess Dave will say, "My great auntie Tilda's at Scumport. I'm gonna go see her. If anyone wants to come." Scumport's must be the nicest time of year, right?
Scumport, yeah.
It is. It's interesting. It's probably the major sort of port to the south end of the continent of PATHCO. It's one of those places that you get sort of everything from. Dave, it was where your riding dog was born. It's probably where half of Sigmund's armor was patched together. Things like that, you know?
Probably the place I arrived in when I was
I'd
made it
imagine
across
so,
the
yes.
ocean.
I'd imagine so, yes. So,
Didn't
you
wanna
know,
hang around there.
you'd probably get some benefit to local knowledge checks about stuff like that, because you have been there before. It's not an entirely new place to you. So let's do this old style.
Yeah, Sigmund probably will have been to Scumport because he used to be a merchant, right?
I'd imagine so. The sort of fighting markets of Scumport, the sort of barracks and stuff where a young mercenary may earn a name and perhaps some wage. You know, he's frequented them quite often. Certain things related to that, he'd probably get a benefit to knowledge-based checks.
Also, just I don't know how other people are tracking this, but because it's 3 weeks, I've just paid out a certain amount of gold for horse feed for our horses. I don't know if you guys are doing that as well, but
I didn't really track it. I just took like 20 gold off to feed all the animals. I figured that would be enough for the next
I'd say that's
while.
like, you know, take off. It's like a handful of gold pieces. It's not.
I know
a
it's
lot
not
of
very
bits.
much.
it's 1 gold piece for 20 days feed.
Yeah, and it's actually getting cheaper because more farmers are moving into Riverton
Don't
now
forget
that
I've
the
got
whole zombie thing has ended.
two other animals
So-
besides my dog.
Do we want to do this old style? Apollyon, what are you up to? It has been a while since I've said that. That felt good.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed that.
I did enjoy that.
That's good.
So Apollyon, yeah, you mean during the months that he's been, or during the time that he's been back here at the place, the
The old
monastery?
PATHCO range.
Yeah. So what he's been up to is generally he's been trying to read some of the contents of the book, which has not been very successful, but because it's all written in a language he doesn't understand.
Not only that, but it's sort of...
Makes
You
weird
feel
noises.
like you read a page, and then later you go back and look at the same page and the characters have changed. It's things like that. It's quite a peculiar book. And, you know, just from your innate magical sense, you can tell there's a lot of power within the pages. But, interesting, definitely. But, what is he up to this morning?
So this morning, as I said, he has been painting his eyebrow back on, and then the courier arrived.
Which was fun. So now what? Now he's received these letters. Is he going to head down into town? Has he got errands to run? What is he up to this particular morning?
You know, I'm actually feeling like going over to Kate Fish Whiskers and going to say, yeah, thanks for this, and just pointing with his thumb at his forehead.
Well, Midette's hanging out there anyway, so
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
true. Yeah, I am
They've-
actually going to go there, and I'm going to visit Medette.
Okay,
Has
so
Apollyon shared what was in the letter? Because if so, Dave will probably go with him. To go see.
Apollyon, have you shared what's in the letter?
I have shared what is in the letter.
Sigmund, Glenvar, are you going to go with? Have you got other stuff that you'd rather do at the monastery? Sorry?
I said, yeah, that makes sense. I think Sigmund would go along as well.
Okie doke, Glenvar?
Yeah, Glanval would go with, just because more than anything, Dave probably would not survive too well on his own.
Fair enough. So,
Who Dave's friends with. the other
you
two.
all sort of head down onto the main sort of bridge center of Riverton. You notice that most of the houses that were sort of abandoned or vacated during the zombie attacks are now flush with people. There's a couple more shops that have opened. It's a lot of bits and pieces like that. It feels a lot more like the center of a town again, as opposed to a pub in the middle of nowhere.
So would you say the Hook and Hound's been getting a bit more boisterous?
I'd say the Hook and Hand is actually very... It's almost crammed on certain nights now.
Because I had an idea for something Sigmund might have been doing over the past 3 weeks. Is it okay to say that?
It's entirely fine by me.
Just to earn a little bit of extra coin, I think he'll have been offering his bouncer services for the last 3 weeks.
In the past 3 weeks, you've only been needed on the weekends because, you know, generally the clientele is mostly farmers and stuff who don't have a lot of free time anyway, but he's probably earned a decent handful of change doing that.
Make any kinds of rolls, like an intimidate check or something like that?
Yeah, you can roll an intimidate check. You can see how good a job you did as a bouncer, sure.
Dave would have been playing music.
Entirely fine if you want to play. If you want to roll perform, that's entirely.
And just like talking to
Oh,
people.
ow!
Yeah.
So
Ooh, dear.
Sigmund, he's a bit too nice of a guy to be doing this. It's either one way or the other, you know. It's either sword and shield, or it is a bit of a gentleman charmer. So he's not excellent at the role, but he does well enough, and they are only farmers. So he.
failed the intimidate check, Jackie.
I know. I'm just nice. So he probably earns about 45 gold pieces for the.
45 gold pieces.
Yeah, for about.
That's very generous, sir. That's
Thank
more
you.
generous than potentially I would have been in that sense.
That is from 6 or maybe even 9 nights worth of. What would you call it?
Work.
Bouncering.
Bouncing, yeah. 45,
Dave, if
okay.
you want to roll perform.
Sure.
So you're playing to a room full of people, but they are mostly farmers, so. Not that much disposable income for anything aside from booze.
Oh, Dave doesn't really care that much. He's doing it because he can.
So, Dave earned probably about 20 gold pieces, you know, just in sort of bits and pieces, travellers coming through, occasionally hefting over bits of silver and stuff. He's probably been doing that maybe 3 or 4 nights a week. So, you know, yeah, maybe about 20, 25 gold pieces.
He probably just talks to people the rest of the night.
Yeah, that sounds good. Large human-sized flagon in one hand. So, yes.
Did you say 4 to 5 or 45?
For you, I said 45.
Okay.
So, yes, you come onto the main bridge of Riverton, and it's actually a Thursday. So it's quite sort of quiet, you know, it's the middle of the day. The shops are open, the blacksmith is currently, the apprentice is out the front with an anvil hammering some horseshoes into place. There's a couple of new traders set up. You notice that there's an elven woman who's sort of out the front of one of the old houses and is setting up some stuff for display. You know, the grocers is full of a lot more fresh produce, you do notice that. Just from the transport into Riverton and the fact that there are farmers again now. And Kate Fish Whiskers' tower is fairly quiet, you know, the sign's swinging, but aside from that, it's fairly quiet externally for now, anyway.
Nice.
So yeah, what would you like to do?
So yeah, we were heading over to Kate Fish Whiskers' place, right?
Yes.
Alright. So I think Poleon, knowing that, you know, if he were to confront Kate Fishwhiskers, she'd probably not be very happy about, the whole business with the book. So I am going to look if there are any ways I can enter through the back door or anything like that.
Well,
This
David's
is a
gonna march
tower
up
built
to the
onto a
front door.
bridge.
Oh, onto a bridge.
Yes, it's Riverton. It is in the center of Riverton, so
Can
the back
I
is a
scale the
window.
tower?
Roll climb.
Alright.
You notice that there is a window open.
Outside Guildhelm.
Can I
Wilhelm
mount...
can fly for up to 12 seconds, only carrying his own weight.
Ah.
He is not a strong lad.
Alright. I'm
Or
gonna roll a
possibly
climb.
she.
11.
So you find a couple of handholds, but as you get to probably roughly Dave's head height, you realize that you don't actually know how to further progress.
Alright.
They're just like staring at you.
Alright. Very well. I will just knock on the door then.
Okay, so Dave had, well, your common sense. So Dave had already knocked on the door. So you do sort of just drop down into view. And the door opens and Dave is confronted with the smiling face of Kate Fishwhiskers, which quickly turns sour.
Hi, Kate.
You! And she
Well,
sort
it was
of,
just
her
there
left
with-
hand begins to glow with fiery energy.
Oh dear. So yeah, the
Roll the
photo's
reflex
there,
save.
like the symbol, the evil symbol on his head, and he's like, "Hi."
Just a reminder, Jackie.
Yes.
You remember what feats Sigmund took this level up?
21, 19.
So you sort of dodge rather deftly as a fireball goes
I do
flying
like
over
I
your
do
head.
the Matrix dodge.
You do a full-on Matrix dodge.
Wow.
Slightly less impressive by the fact that you do end up on your ass afterwards.
Wow.
But it goes scooting right over your head. And Kate Fishwhiskers sort of
Wait.
glowers at you with a rather unimpressed expression. What are you doing here? Are you ready to steal more of me work? More of me father's work?
Why is everyone like northern all of a sudden?
I can only do northern.
Because Riverton's in the north.
Yeah, it's in the north of
alright.
PATHCO. Why are you here?
There you go.
No, that's still northern. Fuck. Okay, I can only do
Anyway,
northern.
forget it. We got a letter from my dad.
Do you want me to
That's all.
intervene? I'd like to think that Dave's friends with Kate and Medea.
Yeah, halflings gotta stick together, and there's only about 4 or 5 in town, so...
That's quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad for...
Considering
it's
we
not
live
bad.
quite a long way away.
Yeah, well, halflings can be quite... They either are quite homely and sort of home-settled, or they do go out and wander, I mean, it's sort of 2 flavors of halflings, and admittedly one is a lot more common than the others, but, there's probably about 4 or 5. So yeah, Dave, you can intervene if you like.
Hi.
Hi. Anyway,
Me
and
intervene.
starts preparing another fireball.
No. Hello, Kate. Sorry about early on. It's fine. It's fine. Can we see Bedette?
I suppose, but he can wait outside.
That's fair enough.
She's gonna give Polly the finger and motion the rest of the party inside.
With that fireball, I thought this was gonna be a warm welcome, but I guess not.
We're definitely staying outside now.
Wow. So
Yeah, we wouldn't want to offend.
Yeah.
Just get inside.
Wow. Anyway, so you sort of enter the quite sort of cramped space of Kate's tower. You're clambering up the stairs, which are sort of quite steep wooden ones, and you notice as you traverse through the tower that it has actually been neatened. Medette is actually a positive influence here. The scrolls and sort of books and things that sort of covered the floors and lined the walls are now sort of neatly piled up and things by subject. And eventually you reach the top floor, where Medette is busy tending to one of the small golems that sort of wander around Riverton. And they're sort of errand boys, and they sort of help with menial tasks. This one is sort of chirping occasionally as Medette sort of heals it. as you watch sort of a gap in its
Boring.
ceramic shell just heals closed.
Nice, nice.
It chirps in recognition and waves at Dave.
Hello. Small friend.
It chirps back. It's not a linguistic golem.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Medette does turn around and sort of nod and smile at you. Thanks, it was good of you to come. So yeah,
I've seen her and Medette like in the pub if I've been bouncing, like presumably.
yeah, they don't come and drink very often. They prefer to sort of hang out by themselves, occasionally with a couple of golems. But they will occasionally come down to the bar, yes, probably handful of times, let's say.
Yeah, like cauldron flicks and chill, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No. But yeah, you do recognize.
We get on alright is the point.
Yes, I'd say so.
Nice.
So yeah, she says, thanks for coming so quickly. It's good you were here. I'm just worried. Some of the reports I've heard from the road, you know, travelers and stuff. They remind me of some bad stuff that Cassandra was working on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was
Cassandra.
wondering,
She exists.
would you mind heading south a little bit? I spoke to Captain Pugwash before he left, and he mentioned that a dwarven trade ship has gone missing. Supposed to be heading up northward to us, and it's gone missing. So it'd be great if you could take a look.
So is this the road we're talking about, or the waterways of the coast as well?
The road follows the river.
What?
It's
Thinking like river pirates, maybe?
it's entirely possible. I really couldn't tell you.
We've
But-
fought them off before.
It does sort of correlate with some of the
You want to
reports.
check for Sigmund and his past kind of mercenary work for.
He entirely can, yes. Any sort of local knowledge stuff. If he wants to know about things that have been occurring around about, you know, he's probably had his ear to the ground while...
Yeah, knowledge local. I'll give that a go.
yeah. Probably had his ear to the ground while he's been bouncing.
Yes, he probably has. A bit too much because.
Yes. So what you can tell is that Doreen's husband has eloped with Clara's wife. So that's irritating.
Laura's wife.
Yes. You know, that's a whole... That is the current local sort of issue right now.
Oh.
It means Doreen and Clara are at wit's end with each other and their neighbours, and yeah, it's almost like watching an episode of Neighbours. That is what the people of Riverton generally bitch about in their free time, you know.
Just like a
Sounds
real rural
fantastic.
community.
What
Yes.
is it that we're trying to learn here? Because my revelation from being an oracle might help with that.
What's
Basically,
been going on the roads down south?
yes,
Yeah,
learning about the condition of the roads.
Is there anyone around who might know this?
Well,
Or from whom we know that they might very well...
Medette is right there, and she's an expert on the magic-y stuff.
Yeah, I'm outside though. I'm at the door.
True. Well, think
However-
about the NPCs who currently live in Riverton. You've got the courier, who
Actually,
generally hangs out in Riverton.
is Medette within 100 feet of the door?
She's upstairs, so yes.
Well,
Do you have a line of sight to her?
I don't need to, technically. Or, well,
Oh, you
maybe
do
I
that.
do. That depends on
What
how
am
this
I about to
revelation
witness?
works.
I would check for line of sight. It might not need it, but I would check.
I can't see anything about line of sight here. It just says within 100 feet.
Then go for it, Polly.
Alright, now what I'm going to use here is my my revelation. And this is, well, let's just say that it's not the kindest of feats. But it does help. It's called Brain Drain.
Oh, God.
Doesn't sound
Don't
very nice.
worry, it's not that harmful. It's a bit harmful, but not that harmful.
Does this have a will save to resist or something?
Yes, this does.
Well, because Medette isn't actually aware that you're trying to plumb her brain right now. and the only reason you can even hear the conversation is because the window is open, she would be resisting.
I'm sorry?
Because she doesn't know that you're about to drain her brain, she is going to resist that.
That's a strange sort of logic.
She's a... Well, she's not a wizard, but she's a wizardess. She would be aware of something like that, I think.
Well, here it says that the target receives a will save to negate the effect and know the source of the mental prying.
Oh, okay, so she probably
have
just knows that there's
so
a presence.
she'd have to roll, Oh, right, you were talking about if she succeeds the will save.
She would know specifically who, otherwise
Yeah,
she'd just be feeling the mental presence.
Yeah. Otherwise, those who fail this are racked with pain, taking 1d4 of damage. But that's side effects. That's side effects. After successfully using this ability, you will use a full round action to sort through the jumble of stolen thoughts and memories to make a single knowledge check using the victim's skill bonus.
Could just ask her. That's what I understand about you. You just talk to people. You're such a good brain their drains.
It's entirely your call what you want to do, Apollyon.
I'm just gonna go for it.
Then feel free.
Alright. So, let's see what I need to do for this. Take a standard action. Alright, so, I'm not entirely sure what I need to roll
You
for this.
don't. It's her that has to roll. You just
Right,
have to
okay.
work out
Shall we
what
just
it is.
roll her will save then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
A
have to
fairly
roll
high
d6
one,
to
being
save.
a mage.
That'll be the thing to work
She
out.
has a +5, yes. So what actually... Did everyone see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So what actually happens is Medette winces mid-sentence and turns to the window and begins to pace towards it.
Oh dear.
Apollyon, not again!
What?
And she sort of stamps on the wooden floor and says, Kate, he's at it again!
Can I roll a stealth check to hide?
Feel free to roll a stealth check to hide.
Alright.
It's fairly busy, so do you have Sneaky Vagabond? Did you get round to that?
Yeah, doesn't he
yes.
have that?
What? 9? That's the shittiest roll in my life.
Well-
I have Sneaky Vagabond, actually.
Okay, so mercifully you're able to duck behind a sort of cart with some hay in it and a rather bored-looking horse, and somehow, through sheer incompetence, she manages not to notice you.
Fantastic.
She does say, "Don't come back here again!" And she sort of curses something in a language you don't recognize and returns to the party. She seems rather irritable now.
Oh dear.
Alright, I've told you what you want to know, and I would appreciate it if you had a look. But if you could not bring him next time, that'd be nice.
Understandable. Sorry about him.
Can I help you with anything else, or are you good?
Is this
This is Medette.
yeah, this is no. So, so I'm gonna say, does this have a cross-reference number for the Pathfinder Society bounty board, or is this a more freelance thing?
This is more of a freelance thing. I don't really want to get the Pathfinder Society involved until we know what we're dealing with.
She probably also killed a
And,
bunch of them.
well, it's possibly our fault. She sort of gulps awkwardly. I mean, well, you know, these magical creatures sightings have only begun since Cassandra's tower collapsed.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Well, we should go tidy
Yeah,
up again.
Right, so basically we've got
What?
a crazy wizardess on the loose.
No, but her menagerie's possibly been let loose.
Yeah, you know, remember like the mirror monsters and the rust creature and all that kind of stuff.
Hearing the conversation from the window that Medette has actually opened as she was.
Well, yeah, it
passing-
was open anyway. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a fairly
it was open
warm
anyway,
day.
Yeah, I hear that conversation and Apollion's just like looking at Gilhelm and rubbing his hands at the sound of magical menagerie on the loose.
Oh, good God. So, Yeah, that's sort of your chat with Medette done, I suppose. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to do in Riverton?
Other than like, well, Dave wants to gather up stuff to go head to Scumport, and persuade people to come with him if they want to. So I guess that would be all else he'd be going, like getting his dog saddled up, all that kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Sigmund getting tankard, all sorted out. We'll give Dave a nod to keep an invoice on the go, so we can bill people.
I don't. Well, Dave doesn't want to bill Medette. It's his friends.
Well, yeah, no, but we'll make a note of it.
Mates'
We can
rates.
invoice someone at some point.
Okay.
Just invoice them with things that they are not in any way related to.
Well, no, but we can possibly convince them that they are related.
Wow. Glamvar,
Personally, he does like getting paid.
fair enough. Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to do in Riverton?
As
Glamvar,
a
do you
matter
need
of fact-
archers, arrows or anything?
As a matter of fact, I am going to visit the blacksmith.
You are going to visit the blacksmith. So, as you wander into the blacksmith,
Oh yeah, shit! I tried to rob this guy.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
mercifully, he's less than thrilled to see you, but he raises a hand in greeting. He looks you over suspiciously.
I've just realised, because Riverton's getting bigger now, it does have the extra effect that there are now people around who Napoleon hasn't tried to rob now.
Yes, that's entirely
He probably
possible.
has in the
Jakku.
3 weeks.
Is there,
Is
is
going
there
up
any
just because people that don't know.
What were you saying, Mon?
is there any new sort of trader or anything that has set up in Riverton?
Yes, there's a couple.
Nice. Can you
so
tell me what they are?
you can tell that there's a sort of tall elven woman. She has a sort of it's sort of like a tiara of sort of tree roots and stuff on, and she's sort of set up a small stall. You notice that the grocer's is now stuffed with produce, and that there's a young lad working there. And as well as that, you notice that there's a shop that's in the process of being set up.
Alright.
Like, it sort of looks clean and ready to begin, but there's a freshly painted sign, but the actual shop itself is empty.
Alright. What is on the sign? Can I read the sign?
It is it's a sort of thick glass vial, neatly painted on in sort of efficient brush strokes. And it says, Turglows Alembics.
Oh, that'll be a pet shop.
Strongly resisting the urge to break in.
It
There
is
wouldn't be
empty.
anything in it.
It is empty, alright. I thought it was like closed, but there were only things in it. Never mind. Can I have a look at what the elven woman is selling?
You can indeed. As you walk towards the sort of stall, I mean, it's not even a shop, it is a stall that's fairly open to the elements. And as you approach it, this sort of tall elven woman sort of turns in this dress that looks like leaves, and she sort of smiles warmly at you.
Alright.
Good morning.
Morning.
And the actual stall is sort of flush with... At first glance, you think it's groceries, but it's not. It's odd sort of roots and leaves and berries and sort of strange fauna that you haven't necessarily seen before.
Alright. Can I ask her what she's offering, or what these plants exactly are used for?
Well, in my homeland, they use them for the betterment of life, you know. So, like, some of these are for healing, some of them improve your, well, virility. There's many effects.
Alright.
She sort of leans in conspiratorously when she says virility.
Alright.
Eyebrow waggle.
Yeah, plenty of eyebrow waggling. She has quite slender blonde eyebrows, but they waggle like hell.
Alright, so I'm going to first of all ask, right, so, you have any mugwort chance?
Well, yes, of course. And she sort of motions to one of the boxes, and it is flush with mugwort.
So like
There
a
are full.
shirt that says Mugwort Blaze 420 on
There is a small sign that says "Legalize mugwort in Scumport,"
Wow.
and there are sort of full-on mugwort plants that have been pulled entirely out, which are about 4 leaves in each plant, along with a little bit of the root as well.
Alright, I am going to buy, like, can I buy like 10 mugwort leaves or something? Like
Of
10
course. Would
10
you like
portions?
would you like the separate leaves, or would you like 2.5 plants?
Just give me the leaves. The plants are gonna be a bit impractical.
Fair enough.
Although, no, but this is gonna be tricky again, because what I could do, because I have these 2 belladonna plants here, like actual plants, I could buy some mugwort plants as well and plant them in pots and tie the pots to a backpack
Or to Gilhelm.
or to Gilhelm.
Or just leave them
I
at
could
home.
make him like a moving garden.
I don't think he can carry that much stuff. He's only a pig.
This is indeed a druid, Hellhounds. Yes, but she does sort of smile and she sort of nods. And
Well,
she's actually taller than you are. She is quite a sort of slender, tall elven woman. And
Yeah, you can.
she's-
You know what? You can give me 1 mugwort plant and like 8 portions of just the leaves.
yes, of course. That'll be 5 gold, please.
All right,
5.
cash it in.
So she sort of takes it and slips it into a little pouch in her dress that didn't appear to be there before, and it's only upon really focusing that you're looking for a pouch that you can see it again. It's a very sort of concealing dress. And from another, she brings out a couple of like long leaves which she uses to wrap up the smaller mugwort leaves and sort of ties them together a bit. And she adds a couple of leaves as a sort of decorative bag for the planted full mugwort plant.
All right.
That sort of jiggles a
so
little
I'm
as she
gonna
passes
buy
it off.
that. Do you have anything that increases magical power or something like that?
Well, the mugwort is what's commonly used to expand your intellect in ways like that, but I'm still getting more things in from my homeland, so it's entirely possible my sister will be traveling down to meet with me soon, so she'll probably bring more produce if you'd care to come again. She winks.
Where exactly is your homeland, and where's your coming from?
Me and my sister, we both come from the northern homeland of Adrev. It's a quite large city at the southern end of our homeland, and is
Alright,
probably what a human would refer to as a capital.
alright. Can I roll, like, knowledge, geography to know anything about this place?
Yes, of course.
Where are the skills? Here are the skills. Knowledge, geography. 16.
So yeah, you know that it's a sort of... It's not necessarily what a human city would look like. It's sort of set around 5 or 6 of these huge great trees with various dwellings almost grown into it by the sort of druids of the city. Like, druids are also architects in Adrev. It's just how nature has made it. So, it's sort of like a mangrove forest, essentially. A whole bunch of huge trees rising out of almost a lake. And the city is sort of draped across them.
Alright, nice. I'm giving her, like, a hippie sunglasses.
Wow. Yep, they give a +2 to identifying magical leaves and roots.
Nice.
And discount entry on festival tickets.
And discount entry and festival tickets. Only Burning Man. So,
Alright,
does
yeah.
anyone have anything else they'd like to get done in Riverton?
Nah.
Sigmund?
No, I'm good.
Glanvar?
Yep.
You cool?
I want to go buy some arrows.
Rightio. So you head into the blacksmiths and the...
Oh. Will there be a chance to buy them in, like, the city? I was gonna wait until then.
It's entirely possible, yes.
Yeah,
have a
that's
couple of days travel, but it's entirely possible.
I reckon
So-
24 hours lasts me that long.
The blacksmith sort of acknowledges Glamvar as he enters and sort of, instead of the usual sort of standoffish nature, he does sort of dip his head a bit more respectfully. This is the mute
Returns
blacksmith.
the gesture. But, yeah, I require some more arrows.
The blacksmith nods, thumps his fist on the desk a couple of times, and the rather portly older fellow, who is the blacksmith's, essentially his apprentice, sort of leaves the room and returns after a couple of minutes. Oh, sorry, my apologies. And he starts setting out bales of arrows, and there's sort of a couple of different kinds.
Oh, he's just going to buy them. He's going to buy 3 quivers worth of normal arrows.
Sounds good. So he sort of slides those over. Sorry, I haven't got the price of arrows up, I'm afraid.
Gold piece per 20 usually.
Fair enough. Wow. Yeah, so 20 gold, did you say?
Yep.
Yep. So
Oh, a gold piece for 20.
a gold piece for 20, right, okay. So 3 bales of 20, that is 3 gold pieces. So he's gonna make a 3 with his fingers. And then sort of offer his hand. And he's sort of tying the bundles together to make it easier for you to carry.
Yeah, Granvar returns the nod and says thank you.
Yeah, he sort of, in a sort of... Dwarven doesn't really have sign language, but they have a sort of crude approximation of Dwarven runes, so he sort of signs out the thank you, brother.
I would ask to see if I can get my bow strengthened, but that's probably not going to be done in the time frame. So
Fair enough. Well, it can definitely be something that you did over the time skip if you'd like.
basically, it's been upgrading a composite bow from +0 to +1, which is going to require more skill than he's able to do.
Well, we're going to a massive city.
It's a dwarven smith anyway. He is surprisingly talented
No,
considering.
I meant me. I can't do it.
Oh, I see. Fair enough.
We've done that in the past like 2 weeks.
Doesn't matter now.
Okay. So did you want to do something at the blacksmith as well, Dave?
Nah.
Okie doke.
I
So
was
does
actually
anyone?
going to blacksmith for a second.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna try and take not too long. I'm gonna look for. Let me quickly look it up because I was trying to get a bit more armored up actually.
Glamvar, as you're leaving, you notice that subconsciously on the desk, the blacksmith, as Apollyon entered, has tapped out the signs for "not him."
Not him. Wow. Rude.
But, he doesn't show anything aside from the sort of, grumbling glare of a dwarf who's not terribly pleased to see you. But that is the default starting stance of most dwarves.
It really is.
Alright, wow. This is pretty cool. Rosewood armor.
Your horse has got that, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
You have matching sets. How
Yeah,
cute.
matching sets.
Sadly, the blacksmith wouldn't necessarily have.
Yeah, no, I would
Rosewood
imagine
on.
he wouldn't have that actually.
Yeah, it's
So I'm just gonna-
it's a
I'm
more
gonna ask
druidy
him.
thing, more of an elven thing actually.
Yeah.
What can you wear to avoid getting arcane spell chance failure?
I'm sorry?
Well, if you wear heftier armor, it ups the chance of your spells not working, basically.
Oh, right.
I'm just checking what you can wear because there's certain classes of armor that have different things. In more larger towns that have got access to a lot of different magic abilities, you can get a bit better stuff that has less of an effect. But I'm just looking.
I wonder if you can get like feats that decrease that chance.
There is a prestige class that does it. I know. I don't know if there's specific feats.
Prestige class.
There might be other stuff. There might be other stuff as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Eldritch Knight or something had a
Probably, yeah.
ability that reduces that.
Anyway, I am going to ask this man if he has Do. An armored coat. That's pretty handy.
He does, in fact. So he sort of wanders back into the back room. The apprentice is currently busy hammering out some arrowheads. And he sort of heads into the back room and returns about 10 seconds later. He's not leaving you alone in the shop again. And he sort of returns with this sort of fairly hefty coat. It's got a couple of panels that would essentially make it more adverse to damage just through the thickness of the slight plate in it, you know?
Is this the equivalent of a armored kilt, effectively?
No, it is
it's
an
a
armored
coat.
coat. It's a thing on itself.
Yes. Thyra actually wears one.
It's
And it's
under
the similar
medium
sort of...
armors.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's essentially quite a bulky, quite long coat. You know, it probably goes down to maybe your knees. You're an elf, so you figure it'd probably go down to longer on a human, but... it's quite a long, sort of thick jacket. Essentially, and that would...
Yeah, and actually, what's handy about it is that I can equip it as a move action. Or
You
unequip
can,
it
yes.
as a move action. So that's
Yes.
pretty handy.
Oh, right. So you wouldn't be wearing it all the time, just when you need to get some extra armor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, because
the-
when he does wear it,
When you're wearing that, it's 20%. So
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like that?
Yes. Actually.
So he motions for a 5 and then another 5.
So that's 55 gold, I suppose.
He nods.
Alright. I'm not gonna haggle with this man because I tried to rob him before.
That is why it is 55 gold as opposed to 50.
I'm just gonna pay that 55 gold.
He sort of pockets it and gives something that if Glanvar was around you'd know was a sign for bastard, and then slips you the coat.
Wow. Alright, thanks, man.
He nods.
Appreciate it.
He nods.
Alright,
Eventually and begrudgingly he sort of signs out thank you.
nice.
What a nice man. I do enjoy playing the Tongueless Smith. Okay, so does anyone have anything else they'd like to do in town before you get moving?
I remember there actually was something to do. I wanted Sigmund to do, but we don't need to up here. He said he was going to meet with the courier to discuss stuff that we don't need to go into now. But I'm sure
Fair enough, off screen.
he,
Cool.
he has had that discussion. Yeah, basically.
Probably while the others were at the shops.
Probably while the others were at the shop.
And then
Actually,
gone.
Can I
south
quickly
of
ask
places.
something?
Yes, of
For
course.
your AC, your dodge, what is that exactly?
It allows you to get a special bodge bonus that. No, I'm kidding. Where's it dodging?
Yeah, because my AC is really quite low, and I'm wondering if I've missed out on any like bonuses.
How much is your AC?
12.
Well, you are a spellcaster, but
12 sounds about
does-
right.
You
I've
start
got-
off at 10 with no armor.
Yeah, that's true.
you get-
What's your dexterity?
Well, look at what it's
My
made
dex
of.
is
1, so you get a +1 to it.
yeah. My dex is a +1 modifier.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
How have I then got...
Oops.
Oh,
Sorry,
I only
did I
get
just
one
hit a
from
bump?
my size. Okay,
Yeah,
that
just
makes
hit a bump.
sense.
My bad. I'm
Dodge.
not entirely sure about dodge. I'm pretty sure it's a feat you have to select.
There's a few different things that give you dodge bonus.
You mean bodge bonus?
Yes, the feat dodge is one of them. There are other magic items that give you dodge bonuses to things.
Yeah.
Bit of Pathfinder trivia. Dodge bonus is one of the only bonuses that does stack with itself. So if you get a +1 dodge bonus from something and a +1 dodge bonus from something different, you do actually have +2 in total. It
That's
stacks.
nice to know.
Unlike anything else, because
Right.
AC doesn't
Mon currently looking up bodge bonusing
yeah,
and
it's a
the
feat.
art of practicing it.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna take that as my level 5 feat because I didn't take one yet.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep, dodge is always solid.
Right. Okie doke. So, is everyone ready to depart?
Yes.
Haggis?
Yep.
You two?
Yep.
Yep, cool.
Tank is all kind of got up. Give him some feed. He's got all the stuff on there.
Yep. So it's sort of he sort of snorts, grumbles a little bit, but then gets ready. You know, he's not a thrilled horse, but he's willing to be ridden and he's having a decent time of it. You know, it's not like he's badly cared for, and Dave tends to spoil all of the horses.
He doesn't actually like horses that much, but he's probably starting to get over it.
Yeah, it's part of the menagerie overall. Freddie Mercury is, of course, standing apart from the other horses, atop like some kind of tall rock or something, looking very majestic. His mane is blowing in the wind.
Yeah, nice.
You say that as you enter the paddock.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Nice.
The horse sort of raises a hoof,
Yeah.
like mimics the gesture.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So yes, you begin to ride south, and you're sort of riding for about a day. You know, sort of making yourself useful as you always do, gathering firewood along the road for your evenings camping, things like that. You know, you're probably about maybe 60 or 70 miles south of Riverton. You know, it's a long haul trip. And you're walking along this sort of scrubby track. It's not necessarily a road, but it's quite well maintained, you know. Occasionally there are lanterns along the road that are magically lit. There's a couple of sort of fence posts bounding the edge, and on the other side is the river. There's a bit of a sort of slope down, and then there is the River Tun itself.
I'll be making sure to pay particular attention to the river and any potential ambush spots when we're moving around.
Of course. Roll perception.
Sure.
So it's coming towards sunset now, you know. It's early evening, let's say. It's beginning to grow dark. 19. So as the darkness begins to drop, you sort of notice a few odds and ends along the river that begin to make you uncomfortable. There's a couple of sort of smaller ships that are sort of rotted almost. And, you know, you tend to travel around Riverton a little bit, so you have seen this area before. And you notice that these weren't there the last time you were around these parts. So, yeah.
So they were rotten kind of wrecked ships. What in the river or on the side?
Sort of drifted up, and they seem
size
relatively...
boats are these like rowboats or like
couple of rowboats, maybe one small yacht as you continue traveling, or a barge, I suppose. You wouldn't use a yacht on a river, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should maybe like check that out.
Yeah.
Approximately how many seconds flight are these from the river edge to where they are?
Most of them are sort of towards the river edge, you know, maybe a meter or two in, you know. Yeah, it's sort of beginning to reach nightfall.
Okay. I'm thinking if we're going to start camping up, we want to check that out first.
Definitely. Definitely.
Should I do detect magic?
Why not? Yeah, no, that's
Is a
pretty
thing
good.
I can do?
It's potentially magical beasts, right?
It is a cantrip.
Yeah. And we know there's
I
like
think.
magical beasts on the loose, so...
So you use detect magic, and
I was going to do a roll for it, but...
don't worry about it. If it's something like a cantrip, I'm going to assume it succeeds, because it's like trickster magic, you know? It's things that maybe a traveling showman might use. It's fairly simple stuff. So you sort of mutter a few words of an incantation, and your eyes sort of glow briefly blue, and you're able to sort of see almost like a heat sensor, you know, that sort of
infrared.
vision. Yeah. And there's a sort of couple of purple patches that sort of cover the timbers of the bow. Roll perception.
Okay.
Is that everyone or just Egg?
Just Egg.
Perception.
Perception.
I can put one more rank into that before it's maxed out. Sad. Oh, it was very good.
So you sort of pan round, but mostly it seems to be okay. You do notice a sort of odd blue glow further down the river, almost at the horizon.
That's too far away. What could possibly happen?
Are you going to tell the others that you have seen this? What are you going to tell the others?
It's like, the boats are a bit purpley and there's something blue, but it's like miles away. It could just be some random wizard on the road for all I know.
Can I roll perception on the boats as well?
If you'd like, do you have detect magic?
No, just a normal perception.
If you'd just like to roll normal perception,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, presumably, Dave is able to point us towards like the purple bits.
Yes, of course. So taking
17.
specific look at the purpley bits, you notice that
What the hell is being talking about these purple bits? You assume some kind of purple light.
so you notice that they haven't been smashed or splintered. It's like they've been degraded.
Alright.
What are you going to do?
Can I roll knowledge arcana to see if I know anything about like degrading spells or the powers that can cause this
Feel
sort of
free
thing?
to take a look. Feel free to work out what you can.
We actually have the ability to work out why magical stuff has happened.
You sort of frown at it, and you sort of poke at it, and a couple of bits of timber fall away, but you can't place where you've seen
Oh,
this.
so we're actually standing around the boats then?
Well, yeah, they're drifted up. You know, it's
Oh, right. Nice.
essentially driftwood. They seem
Right.
harmless.
Does that perception check get me, allow me to see maybe any leftover objects that have been washed ashore along with the boats? Or any sort of...
Dotted up and down, it's just sort of detritus, you know, like there's a wagon lid. Not a wagon lid, a barrel lid. A couple of sort of splintered planks. You know, I mean, they're dry enough that they might be used for firewood or something, but they're not particularly useful in any sort of deductive manner.
Alright. Well, I guess this is alright. Right, I'm going to just say that everything seems to be alright then, but I am gonna swing on my armored coat just in case.
Fair enough.
Can I try and tell my dog to guard?
Yes, of course. Feel free to roll handle animal.
Riker, guard.
Roof! Apollyon, who's about
Good boy.
10 feet away, jumps.
Bad,
So yeah, it
He's a
gives
pretty big
a
dog.
big lick across your cheek. Like, it is... Your entire face is now damp, and it wanders off to go and, like, guard, like, man a perimeter.
So, are we setting up camp near here then?
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounded slightly more questioning than I meant. Like that seems like a good
Yeah, I
idea.
would imagine so.
Well,
Okay,
not like right on the road, but nearish.
Yeah.
fair enough. You sort of camp up in sight of the road, in sort of a natural gully that's quite sort of sheltered and, you know, keeps you out of the worst of the wind, gives you enough space to light a nice fire, you know. Possibly dinner's on.
Set up his tent and.
It is dark now. Sigmund has set up his tent, complete with the Arbello family crest.
Yep.
I don't think I have a tent.
I'm going to assume everyone has a tent, or everyone shares with Sigmund, whichever's funny.
There's enough space
I don't
for...
know how big my tent is. Let me check to see how big Sigmund's tent is.
I'm only a small halfling.
That's true. Sleepover!
The others can stay
I did
outside for all I care.
specifically large tent. So how big the large tent is?
I'm gonna say enough for about 2 humans, which is, you know, however you want to break that down, probably 1 human, a halfling, and a dwarf if it really needs must.
Probably not because
It might specifically say it could be bigger than that because I did buy one of the bigger ones.
Well, I'm going to assume everyone has a tent. I'm assuming they strap it to their horse or whatever.
I don't really have a tent.
I have a
There's no
horse.
tent in my
A
inventory.
large tent holds 4 creatures and takes 45 minutes to assemble.
Well, there you go then. It's been 45 minutes. The sky is now sort of darkening. It's like almost purple. It's, you know, it's thick darkness. It's a really nice night, actually. You can see the stars, and you're setting up food. You know, it's nice and quiet. Take 5 minutes, guys. You know, chill out. So, as you're setting up dinner, Dave's dog begins to growl.
Oh. Riker, what is it?
William Riker stands up onto all fours and begins to growl, pointing southward. He's resting near the road.
Shield and mace of spades up. It's,
Pick up the crossbow.
You are about 10 meters back from the road in your sort of humble campsite.
let's start stealthing towards it. Sigil take point, I guess.
What about can the dwarves see anything with their low light vision? The dwarf, even. We've got one now, haven't we?
Glanvar, roll perception. If you'd like, of course. Depends what you're up to.
As soon as he hears a disturbance, he'll be getting his bow ready. So yeah.
Fair enough. Feel free to roll perception then.
Yes, you are. I'll try. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Can't see crap.
He just woke up.
What actually
He
happens
just
is
woke
you
up.
ready an
That is the
arrow
best
and
explanation that I've
you
ever
slip
heard.
a little bit and the arrow goes flying off and nearly ends up in the fire, so you wander off to go and grab your arrow.
Oh,
What's
dear.
that got to do with my perception?
Can I also roll?
You
perception?
failed perception.
Yeah, what's that got to do with my bow?
You weren't paying attention to the bow, you were paying attention to something entirely different and slipped. Yes, Polly, you can roll perception if you'd like.
Bam.
Nice.
Okay, so, you're not excellent at seeing in the dark, but you do notice a sort of small figure running heavily down the sort of dirt path. Probably maybe 50 meters away from you and getting closer.
Ugh, disgusting.
He doesn't appear to be armored. He's wearing a sort of quite plush jacket. He's a sort of short, you know, about Glanvar's size.
Alright.
And he's
Can
sort
I,
of runs up.
Wait, let me just, Alright,
You can log from the fire, so you've got something to see by.
There is a small lantern hanging up that is sort of giving a slight magical glow, but it's not, you know, it's not excellent. It probably gives about 15 feet square of light.
alright.
So, you know.
I am going to, I'm going to ready my Morning Star, my weapon.
We don't even know if this is a threat yet. Hold on.
Well,
Just
this is
your
Napoleon
dog.
we're talking about. I'm going to ready the weapon in case it is a threat. Or in
That's
case
reasonable.
it's not a threat but has a lot of stuff on it.
Hey, we're PATHCO. We're not thieves. Well, I'm not a
Says
thief
you.
anyway. Yeah,
No.
says me.
No, I'm
Glanvar,
just
how
going
do you feel about your compatriots talking about robbing these, whoever may be coming?
Sigmund will shush everyone. Shh, no, don't talk about that.
Glanvar, did you hear that?
Sorry.
Not in a don't talk about it, as in a shh, they might be coming.
Oh. Sorry, what were you saying, Haggis?
Say we are not robbing.
Alright, so Napoleon just sort of shrugs and looks at the creature that's coming towards them. Still
Okay,
having
so-
a firm grip on his Morning Star. Just in case.
Eventually, the whoever it is sort of runs into the torchlight, and you notice that it's a rather hefty-looking dwarf. And he's sort of got some unfamiliar equipment strapped over his back, what looks like some sort of odd slingshot, and a large backpack. And he's sort of breathing heavily and rests against the sort of torchlight until he finally notices you.
We have good friends.
He freezes, looks at you. Hello? Reaches
Hi.
back to grab his sort of slingshotty thing.
Easy, easy.
Hi.
I could say the same to you.
Well, you just barged into our camp, friend.
This is a public road.
We're not on the road. We're by the road.
I'm on the road. He motions down, he's on the road.
Alright, can I roll diplomacy and, like, ask him to sort of calm down and does what the hell he's doing. Or what
Yes,
the hell's
feel free.
happening.
Why are you running around at like 9 p.m.? Oh dear.
How does that go, Polly?
So yeah, I approach him in my
He
big,
immediately steps back until he's
my-
against the fence.
in my big armored coat with like the demonic sigil branded on my forehead, and the Morning Star in my hand, and I ask him, "What are you doing here, buddy?"
He swats at you ineffectually with his slingshot, looking very freaked out. Stay back, whatever you are.
It's okay. It's okay. We're
Simple travellers.
PATHCO. We're providing security solutions to Riverton and the surrounding area. We heard there was some trouble around here. You understand? We're just keeping an eye on the roads.
I don't know. I've seen some strange things recently.
Well, that's exactly what we're about, friend. Come, sit with us. Tell us what you've seen.
I don't want to hang around here. He's shaking his head shortly.
Why? What have you seen?
I've seen my ship get swallowed by something. I've never seen anything the like of it. My crew, they're dead.
Can you
Did we get
describe?
rid of
Can you
shit
try
by,
to?
Medette?
What?
Oh yeah. Actio, you can repeat yourself first.
Oh, sorry. Medette's mentioned there was a dwarven ship that had gone missing. Did she mention the name specifically?
She didn't mention the name, but she did know it was a dwarven ship.
Right. Can I ask the man? Can you describe anything you might have seen about this creature?
It was dark. We were traveling. There was a vast shudder. Some of the crew went below decks. I heard screaming. I took off running. No one followed me. I was able to hop down off the side of my barge and run to the shore, half paddling, half running. I threw my worldly possessions on my back and went.
Can I roll knowledge, or can I just roll perception to see just how deep the river is and like speculate on what kind of a creature we might be dealing with here?
Yes, of course.
9. Oh, that's bad.
It's medium. It's deep enough that you probably couldn't get a full ship down here, but you could probably get like a large river barge, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
At least-
maybe, I don't know, a fairly sturdy ship, you know.
Alright. Sounds to me like we're dealing with some kind of small river variant of a kraken of some kind. I would think that it's pretty large as well, because it seemed to be submerged as it was attacking the ship. That is, if it's a creature we're dealing with. And not some kind of rogue sorcerer.
CSI Riverton.
Yeah.
When did this happen, friend? Sorry, my name's Sigmund von Beck, and you are...
I'm Tugnall of the House Bergfalk.
Oh
Bergfeld?
well, good.
Isn't that Thyra?
Do you know Thyra? Bergfeld?
Thyra? Well, she's my cousin, of course I know her.
Well, we know Thyra as well. Tell her that PATHCO said hi. She was assisting us with one of our adventures just recently. She just headed
Assisting you? I thought she was helping at the Church of Thor. I was going to go up to see her once I'd set up my shop in Riverton.
a little of column A, a little from Sigmund's going to try and cover for Thyra. Like in terms of assisting the temple, she was also helping protect the surrounding lands with the local heroes, the mighty
And spread the good word, Thor.
Thor. Actually, we saw her dissolve a lot of undead like in one go. It was pretty badass, actually.
Aye, that sounds like Thyra. He sort of gives a slow nod and a slight smile. In the sort of light, you can notice that he looks a little bit like Thyra. You know, this is the same sort of hair color. It's probably Thyra maybe 50 years down the line, you know?
But enough of family discussions. When did this happen and where?
I haven't been running long. Maybe a few hundred meters down the river.
So what you're saying is the creature, or possibly sorcerer, and Sigmund gives a nod to
The entity.
the entity. The entity might still be there.
Maybe I didn't take any time to. I went.
Well, Bergfalk, you warm yourself by the fire. Riker, watch him. Pathco, roll out.
Can't command my dog.
Good doggy. He sort of meekly pets
Okay.
Riker.
I'd go. Ooh, sorry, Dave. Do you want to? Take it?
Riker? God.
Riker sort of nods
Glad
and
we
then
had
starts
Daddy,
panting derpily.
As dogs do. Okay then.
So yes, what would you like to do?
I guess go check out the river, see if there are any survivors, and if this creature is going to be around and pose any threat to us.
Yeah, that seems like something we should be doing, right?
Fair enough. So as you begin to trape through the somewhat muddy track, you know,
Stealth them down there if we can, right?
feel free to roll stealth.
Yep.
So sending out the more scouty people first, and then Sigmund taking it.
Stealth team.
Stealth team.
That makes sense.
Stealth theme.
Okay, Broglan and Dave.
Set Sig.
That was almost a natural 20. So close.
Stealth theme.
You're not part of stealth team.
Helped with my armor check.
I am part of stealth team. Thank
you're
you
not.
very much. Well, I'm
Yeah,
natural 20.
right. Yeah, Glambar actually just sort of vanishes and reappears at a sort of... It's like a cluster of rocks that the path sort of weaves its way through.
Are you gonna stay back, Sigmund? Watch our
Sigmund's going to
6.
stay back a sensible distance.
Okay, so you're about 50 meters behind them. If you want to roll stealth anyway, go ahead.
I will roll stealth just in case. But the thing is, if I make a noise, I'm not going to be.
It's not immediately going to be attributed as where the party is.
Yeah. Scroll up there. I'm on my laptop. It's slightly. So it's this minus. Okay. I got that. 10.
Good work.
Fail.
So there's a bit of clanking, but
Well, I'm staying sensibly far back, so
Yeah.
stealth team's got time to tell me to stop if it's a bit.
so you sort of clang a bit, but whatever it was that's further down the river doesn't seem to react. There doesn't seem to be any difference in the fairly silence that you do notice. So as you reach this sort of, the rest of the party wait for you just before this sort of gathering of stones, where upon climbing onto it you might be able to have a better look at the further down the river.
Alright.
Detect magic. Again.
Yeah, go for it.
Because you said there was some.
The
kind of-
air is blue. It is thick with blue energy.
The air.
Like, all
There's
around
magic
you.
everywhere.
All around you, but concentrated further down the river.
Well, that ain't good.
How do you want to explain that to the party?
It's very. It is very magic. It's everywhere. There's like slightly more down there, but it's literally everywhere.
Do you think
Alright.
whatever this creature was the thing that bashed into the ships we saw before, possibly leaving
Well,
its residue on?
I'm not
Probably.
entirely sure about that, because upon studying the wrecks that we saw, they seem to look more degraded than crushed or bashed by anything.
It might have some kind
And
of
that is
like
why-
your
That's
Like your
why I
acid
was
touch.
suggesting a sorcerer, yes. Or perhaps a creature with acid-like abilities.
Well, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
Who would like to take the first look over? Or do you all want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna go right ahead.
Okay.
Should I roll
not
anything for
stealth
this?
team is not going to be there immediately because of the obvious reasons.
Feel free to roll perception. All of you are now together.
Okay. Can I make this check without worrying about stealth and that? or-
You can make this check without worrying about stuff.
Perception, here we
What?
go. What?
Apollyon
Yeah.
is about to climb up the rocks and just stares fixated at the rock beneath him.
We all run perception. I thought that anyway. Oops.
So, the remainder of you sort of clamber up together and look down. There is very clearly a sort of trade ship in the middle of the river, sort of held in place. There are a couple of lights glowing on it, and your stomach sinks.
I'm sorry.
Because
Gathered around the ship is the largest organic thing you have ever seen.
is it bigger than the russet
You
mold?
flash back to the greenhouse of Cassandra's castle, of
Oh no, the
Cassandra's
mold.
tower, and the thick gathering of mold that you fought.
Oh no.
And
But
you
what are
see
these
its
molds?
bigger brother.
Oh no. That stuff was horrible. Sigmund almost
The
died.
river is choked with thick mold.
That ain't good.
Hmm.
How can we fight a mold? We can't grease fire this one. It's on the water. Oh, so you got oil does
Actually,
float,
Egg,
doesn't it?
Considering that oil and grease float on water, we
Yeah,
very
I
well
couldn't
can.
remember if they float or if they sunk. I knew it was one
Oh,
of
they
them.
float.
They do float. I think we'll need more than just one grease spell. We might need to go and get some more supplies back from Riverton.
It'll take ages though. It'll be like 5 AM by the time
Let's
we
see
get
what
back.
I've got.
Oh my God.
Even
Two
the air,
spells.
even
No.
the air this close to a russet mold of that size, it makes you cough a little bit. It doesn't.
I don't
it
think,
doesn't make
I don't
you.
think that half of Nick Cage's metal face is gonna help us a
No.
lot here.
I've got a new spell. I can scream at things. But
Nice.
I can summon swarms.
Like,
But, like,
remember we watched
I
last
have
time
a
someone
question.
wrapped some cloth around his face, just even in general presence.
Yeah.
of this thing.
You had a question, sir?
Yes, I have a question. Is the mold intelligent?
No, it is a plant.
Damn it.
Technically, it's not a plant. It's the fungus, I think.
Yeah,
I
my
was gonna
apologies.
brain drain it.
In Pathfinder, it is more or less a plant.
Alright,
Yeah.
let's see, how can we... Can I roll something to see if I know anything more about russet mold?
Knowledge Arcana or Knowledge Nature.
Can I do
9,
nature?
wow, that is
Oh no.
fucking bad.
I'm gonna do nature. That's okay.
That is even worse. Wow.
Can I do a roll?
Rolls,
Yes,
bad
of course.
rolls.
Oh man, I can't actually higher than my nature. That's weird.
I'm assuming that you've all sort of pulled back behind the rock to sort of discuss this out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, Dave, you remember sort of fragments from Cassandra's notes about bastardizing creatures, sort of bolstering them using magical energy from her tower, and
Actually,
you sort
oh
of
my God.
remember.
Oh
You
my
sort
God.
of remember the magical sort of almost explosion as her tower was destroyed.
Hey, Jakku,
Listen,
you wanna know something?
what?
I
No.
just found something in my inventory of
If
all
you
the
use Nick Cage's metal face to destroy
No,
this,
no. If I knew how to, I would. But what I have here is actually, now I remember, I stole research notes from Cassandra's
you did.
tower, and you
Oh, you
know
did.
what one of those was about? Russet
Russet.
mold.
if you'd like to page through that, you can. They're quite sort of. It seems that Medette's inherited her quality of written writing from her
Right, yeah,
old
yeah.
master.
I wanna
And it's a lot
gain
sort of-
anything I can from these pages about russet mold.
Feel free to roll linguistics.
Linguistics. Alright.
Now there's a fucking. No one uses this.
15.
I've used it a couple of times.
So you page through it, and it's basically how she made a strain of russet mold, sort of.
Mutant.
Yeah, she sort of mutated it to be bolstered more by the sort of raw primal magical energy that she used to fuel her tower.
Alright.
And yeah, that's basically what's caused this to swell so large.
Are
Because
there any notes on the specific like mutation
Weaknesses.
strings that she used?
it's more the actual methodology of it, how to sort of open up the characteristics of this plant and make it.
Alright. Can I roll a knowledge Arcana to see if I can discover any weaknesses that might be caused by this mutation.
Feel free to roll Knowledge Arcana.
17.
So, you have a look. You notice that there's some notes on a traditional russet mold, and you notice that acid is a major issue, as it sort of does break down the bonds between these individual fungus creatures that form the entire whole of a russet mold and destroys them.
Aha! That's good. Well, I have an acid spell. The problem is, though...
Dave, did you bring some acid with you?
I don't have any acid.
Dave, remembering your new feat, did you bring any acid with you?
Maybe. Let's find out. Oh yeah, I forgot about my new feat. How does that work again? I always forget.
If you go to the thing, I think a flask of acid is one of the examples they give.
Yeah, I remember that. I still can't remember how it works. In case you missed it, I got the well-prepared feat, which means that I can just happen to find certain objects on me, but there's like a limit to, and obviously like stuff like acid I need to roll a lot higher than like a pen.
Yeah, you've got to roll a sleight of hand check against a DC based on how much it costs. It's only mundane items. And it's
Well, I have like a fairly strong acid spell. The problem is...
I think we're going to need lots and lots of acid as much as possible.
Yeah, but the problem is it's a touch
yeah.
attack.
I got a 19 on my sleight of hand check.
Yep, you actually find that you have a small vial that you've accrued from somewhere. It's probably about enough to melt a lock. It's a fairly decent amount
now, by the way,
of dwarven acid.
Pardon?
you have to pay the cost for the acid now.
So it's probably about 11 gold's worth.
That's fair enough.
Alright.
It's not very much, but it could damage it at least.
Alright,
Well, Riverton isn't a major place.
How much does it weigh, this acid?
What,
But mine.
the actual bottle of it? It's a little vial. It's probably about 0.2 pounds, you know.
Oh, right, so it's
fuck
really
all.
not a lot.
No.
But
we should find a way to
dilute it.
inject this stuff into the russet mold.
Well, it's not like it's one thing. It's not like a cow. It's a mold. I think we could try and dilute it with some water and try and
Alright.
spray it.
What I might want to try here is use... I have Mage Hand, like the telekinesis, right?
Yeah, me too.
Can we use that, like, to, spread out the acids among the fungus?
It's still not a large amount of acid.
Alright.
Like, Mage Hand is not going to increase the amount of acid that is there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, but, like, just spread it along.
If you'd like to roll a concentration, you can give that a go.
Alright.
And it's getting quite close to 9. Just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah. 14, so you take the vial and you sort of fling it across,
Thanks for asking first.
and it sort of keeps flying. It's still a fairly long distance. It's probably still about 50 meters, but it just flies until it's barely a speck. And you notice that a small black patch appears on one of the large fronds of fungus that's sort of growing out.
Okay. Alright.
Like, it's probably about a patch, maybe the length and width of your human's elbow, that sort of size, you know?
Alright.
So you hear footsteps down the path, and turn around to see that Tugdal has actually came back, and Riker is sort of loping after him with an unimpressed expression. Yeah. So, you've seen it. I came back to see how my ship was doing. And
That's bad news, my friend. That's a russet mold.
We've fought them before. And lived, technically. Only just.
okay.
Not one as big as that, though.
Are they destructive? That's most of my livelihood on board. I mean, I'm an alchemist by trade. I need the ingredients.
Oh,
I
oh,
need
oh,
my
oh,
An
produce.
alchemist, hey?
What?
Yes, that's why I said that was my job.
Well,
I don't lie. I'm not Thyra.
That is true.
Would you, perchance, happen to have any acid on your boat?
Well, of course, we use it for everything, you know, I mean...
Is it explosive?
Why would it be explosive? That
don't
sounds
know.
dangerous. Alchemy has nothing to do with being
science.
dangerous. You notice he's missing an eyebrow.
Wow.
Can we make your ship blow up?
But
It
would
would-
ruin everything I own.
It would save
Guys, I have
all
an
future
idea.
travellers from the perils of this thing, and we could.
Fuck all future travelers. It means I'm back to square one.
Well, unfortunately, my friend.
That's 87 years worth of work.
Well, the russet mold is how is the russet mold on the ship? Is it like completely encompassing it, or?
It's spreading over the main deck.
Well,
Well,
I've
you
got
could
a-
lose your boat anyway at this rate, so.
We can. Is it
Yeah,
possible
but
to
we
get to the
could
ship?
salvage it. It'd be tricky. It's not entirely wedged in the russet mold, but a lot of it is.
Alright,
The
guys.
prow of the ship is pretty much covered, but the back of the ship is still more or less visible.
Alright, guys,
Okay.
I have an idea.
Can I get a chance to talk to what was his name again?
Tugnell. Tugnell Bergfeld.
Alright, yes.
Can I have a quick chat to him first?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, sure.
So Sigmund's going to squat because we need to get him on side before we do any of the plans, right? Because otherwise he's just going to shut down what we're going to suggest. So Sigmund's going to try. He's just going to squat down. And he's going to look him square in the eye. And he's going to say, "Tugnell, this is going to be a tough pill to swallow. But that thing
Wow.
over there will eat and swell and absorb everything on that ship if we don't stop it. Now we might be able to get on there to salvage some parts of it, but look at it. Look how fast it's taking it over. We're gonna have to use some of the salvage on that ship to destroy it. Whatever else is left afterwards is fine, but your ship, it's pretty much already gone."
But that's my whole livelihood. It was everything I had. I was moving to Riverton. Did you see my shop? It's almost done.
Oh, wow.
Well,
The decorators only just left. I was moving my trade up now. Look,
it's a tough one, and we'll try to avoid blowing up the entire ship. But
roll
the only-
diplomacy.
okay, let's go check. See how many golden dice I've got.
Golden dice.
I'm going to use a golden dice on this, I think.
Yep, perfectly fine.
Because I just got to say, like, what I'm trying to get across to him is the fact that it's very stressful to say we're going to like blow up your ship, but it's like that russet mold is going to kill your ship. Like, there's no like, and that's a 16 because of the golden dice.
So he sort of frowns and he sort of thinks for a little bit. All right, if you can, if you can get my traveling trunk. If you can get my traveling trunk, it's in my cabin. It's almost on the deck of the ship. It's away from the waterline. It must be away from the mold. If you can get that and get it away, that's got enough. That's got nearly 6,000 gold in it. That's enough for me to start again. That's enough for me to speak to my suppliers in my homeland and get them ferrying stuff to me again.
So,
Right.
sorry, what did you want us to do?
Also, you know, we've got. You know, Sigmund's going to take the invoices out. He's going to hand one of the invoices to start making a note of anything that gets lost. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can find someone to bill.
Wow. Nice.
Sigmund's thinking he might be able to bill Medette for this. That's
Nice.
fun.
Wow.
I am totally up for billing the debt.
What did
Well,
you
Medette
say,
said
Dave?
it's her fault, and it's like, I'm not going to tell the guy that it's Medette's fault.
Can I
I'm
actually
thinking-
pitch my plan?
Yeah, no, you
I
can.
think Dave was about to say something.
Oh, right. Dave?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
You
for
sure
sure.
I just wanted to get him on board before he went with the plan. There.
Any thoughts, Glanvar? Haggis?
Hello?
Is he still in the chat?
I think he should be.
He's gone off to find a rubber duck.
Alright.
Okay.
Anyway, my plan is, can we, using my armored coat and maybe like some rags and anything we might have, make like an improvised hazmat suit? Which at least provides some protection. Maybe this alchemist guy knows...
You'd need something to use as a filter.
Yeah, we would. And that's why I'm thinking like this alchemist guy. I have a goblet filled with vampire ashes. Do those work as a filter? Can I ask the alchemist guy?
The alchemist sort of frowns at it. Not that I know of.
Wait.
I think they're actually used as a cure for vampirism, ironically.
You know, I think I might know something. I have this mugwort here. Can we use that as a filter? If we like burn it up, do the fumes protect me?
They definitely make you think that you're protected.
Alright.
And also that the sky is green.
Oh dear. Alright, I have raw electro lizard meat. That's not gonna help anything.
Are you gonna go through everything that you own and ask if it can be used as a filter?
Maybe? No. Alright, no filter.
I think we might just have to try and be quick.
Alright,
Sorry, I'm back now.
no problem.
Like,
I was just
what's
pitching
the
my idea
good-
for an improvised hazmat suit.
Was it a very good idea?
Well, if we
I mean,
had a
it's not
filter...
an idea, it's laughing.
He doesn't have an air filter, so that was
Yeah.
unintelligent. But amusing.
Wait, maybe Dave has an air filter.
I think that's probably a bit out of the bounds.
So
of what I
you
can
need
handle.
something that's quite sort of thin and meshy. It wouldn't necessarily need to be an air filter right off the bat.
Well, does cloth not work?
Perhaps.
Like fine cloth, like a...
It'd need to be something like silk, like a scrap of silk or something.
Or like a silk
Yeah.
handkerchief.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah, maybe you have like a silk handkerchief. Try that.
You'll pay me back for this if I do happen to find one on me.
Yeah, I'm paying you
Dave
back
sort
for
of
that.
begins to pat himself down, rummage in his scarf. You know, all sorts.
13...
Don't know if that's high enough.
So you
for a
notice that.
handkerchief.
So you sort of pat yourself down and you find a handkerchief. You notice it's not necessarily fine silk. It's more like a sort of. It's cloth. It's not as fine as silk, but it's still fairly fine for cloth.
Alright.
Is it good enough?
Can
How
I
much it
use...
cost?
Can I use the cloth, half of Nick Cage's metal face, as like a face mask thing, with the cloth as a filter, and then my coat as a sort of bodily protection? And
Yes,
then-
of course. You need to roll craft.
Yes, I need to roll craft.
Can we all aid?
Can I get my loot out?
Yeah, Dave, you can bring your loot out.
Inspire, competence.
Sigmund, because you're presumably the one who's hammering the.
Wow, look at that.
You want a craft as well, do you?
Yeah,
Craft.
presumably you're hammering the metal sort of visor into shape. So, what actually happens is. Well, why don't you guys tell me what happened?
Alright. Do you
Well,
want to
my
do this,
music
or
is
I?
lovely.
Your music is
Are you-
just fantastic.
Alright, Ag, do you want to do this, or should I do it?
You do it. You do it, Mom.
Alright, so basically what we've made here is an astonishing piece of modern art.
It would probably work as a face mask.
It would probably work as a face mask, but it's far
Oh,
from
how's that?
optimal.
While you were working, you heard a soft tearing and you can't work out where it came from.
Oh dear. Alright.
Well, how much has the mold spread while we've been working on that?
It's spreading slowly. I think the issue was more that the ship was traveling at night, didn't have sufficient lanterns, and wedged straight into it.
Alright. Can I?
Is
A fair amount of the front deck has now collapsed.
I don't mean to sound rude, but are we gonna end anytime soon? Like,
Yeah,
I've got things
actually,
to
I
do.
do need to
should.
go as well.
So, Mon, you've got however heavy your armored coat is. plus however heavy that Nick Cage thing is, has a possibly working hazmat suit face mask.
Yeah.
Possibly working is in inverted commas.
Well, I think it's one of the it's one of the only shots we've got.
Got to get on there.
I
Get
have
the
like
trunk.
I can cast 3 level 1 spells a day, and among that is like a fairly strong acid spell. So I can
Next
Yeah, we need-
session.
You have to like clear a corridor, right? So
Yeah.
we should get in, get the trunk, and like have a look to see if we can set up some kind of acid explosion shenanigans.
Anyway, we should probably end it right here.
Right,
Yeah, I
okie
need
doke.
to go.
That sounds like a good ending to a planning phase,
Alright.
with an interesting battle later on. So,
Okay.
Next
we're
week.
sort
No,
of
not next week.
skewing a little...
XP, golden dice, and such forth.
You're gonna get, let's say, 400
done
XP each for the problem solving, because I
Wow,
quite
that is
like
a
that.
Big
quite a
amount
lot.
of XP.
It's probably about as much as fighting like a couple of enemies, it's not.
That's true, actually.
Bless you. Bless you, dead. Yes, but, you know, it's a bit. And the winner of the golden dice... What do you guys think?
I don't like being asked. It stresses me out.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, dear.
I get stressed out.
I quite enjoyed Sigmund trying to calm down Tugnall. I quite enjoyed Apollyon's fight with...
Yeah, I think
With,
Apollyon back in the fold.
and I quite enjoyed Brother Glanvar's sort of dwarven kinship moment with the blacksmith as well.
Yeah,
that was kind of
that was pretty good.
so yeah. What do you four think out of those three?
I think Mon for all his shenanigans.
Alright.
Fair enough. Okie doke. Mon, congrats. GG.
Thanks, nice.
Yeah, everyone can mark in 400 XP, and yeah, I guess we're good.
Yeah.
So
Do the
thank
PATHCO.
you for watching, and thank you, and goodbye from the world of PATHCO.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Say goodbye, everyone.